On the issue of the vaccine, like everything else in this country, it's partisan, and it's questioned, and there's controversy about it. The way the federal government has handled the vaccine, there are now serious questions about whether or not the vaccine is become politicized. There's been tremendous reporting on that, and the people of this country don't trust this federal government with this vaccine process. How can I say that? I didn't say it. Americans said it. 54% say they wouldn't take the vaccine yet. President is once again in a dispute with the FDA. FDA says they want to make the approval more rigorous, more transparent. President says they're trying to politicize it. Why would FDA be politicizing the approval? Between the president and the FDA, only one entity is engaged in the political process and is headed for election day. It's not the FDA. I don't think Dr. Hahn is running for anything. Is Dr. Hahn running for any office? No. So I don't see what political interest Dr. Hahn, head of the FDA, has. President Trump is engaged in the political process and has an election day. So 54% of New Yorkers say they wouldn't take it. So the first question is the vaccine safe? Frankly, I'm not going to trust the federal government's opinion. And I wouldn't recommend to New Yorkers based on the federal government's opinion. Second question is, if it is a safe vaccine, how do you implement it? Implementation is a massive undertaking. On the first question of is it safe, New York State will have its own review when the federal government is finished with their review and says it's safe. We're going to put together our own review committee headed by the Department of Health that will advise me. We have the best hospitals and research facilities on the globe in this state. We're going to put together a group for them to review the vaccine so I can look at the camera and can say to New Yorkers that it's safe to take. I want to make sure we know it's safe to take. If the vaccine is safe, then we have to decide how do you actually implement it. They're talking about 2 shots necessary for a vaccine. You have 19.5 million New Yorkers. You're talking about 40 million doses being administered. You think what we went through thus far has been massive with the testing and the quarantine, etc. Administering a vaccine to every New Yorker, this is a massive undertaking. And the vaccines have to be stored at minus 80 degrees centigrade. You're going to have issues of public confidence, whether or not the vaccine is safe. We're not sure what the federal government's role is going to be. I don't think the federal government understands what its role is going to be. So it's going to be a monumental undertaking in any event. I'm appointing a committee today that is going to come up with a vaccine distribution and implementation plan on how we will do it. The vaccine plan will include prioritization of the vaccine, who gets the vaccine first, based on medical standards, not anything else. How do we distribute it? Who can administer it? How do we train those people? How do we train them now? People have to get 2 doses. They have to get 2 of the same medicine in those dosages. You then have to keep track of everybody who was vaccinated, when and what vaccine they actually received. And there's going to have to be a massive public education campaign that talks people through this and how to do it. We're also going to have to buy it, and it's going to be expensive. And who do we buy it from? And I want to make sure we don't go through that same mess that we went through on PPE procurement, where everyone is trying to buy it at the same period of time, and we wind up driving up the price.